man. Oh man. We got a special episode of the Victory Talk podcast today. I don't know. It's either going to be the best episode we've ever done, or it's going to be the greatest. I don't know yet. You'll be the judge. Let's start the show, man. All right. All right, man. Welcome to another episode of the Victory Unit podcast, the only podcast on the internet where it shows you specifically how to build your money, muscle, and your mindset. This is episode 63.
63, yes.
63. Goddamn, man, we out here, man. We doing it super big. We're doing it super big. I'm joined by the homie Nima, straight out of Iran.
Straight.
You know what I'm saying?
Swam.
He swam here. And then my girlfriend, she in the other room doing shit, but she be helping out, reading your super chats. Yeah. And listen, guys. Normally I started with a little story or some shit, but we're not gonna do that today. We got a special guest, and I want to get to our guest as soon as possible. However, before we introduce the guest, I'm contractually obligated to have a word from our sponsor. Right now, we finally got a sponsor for the show. You know what I'm saying? 63 episodes. We finally got a sponsor. Consistency, hard work, man. I'm telling you, it'll pay off for you, right? So this episode of the Victory Talk podcast is sponsored by Thot repellent. Yeah, this is the easy to apply spray that keeps the hose away. Right now, most of you guys, let's be honest, a lot of you guys are fucking losers and dorks and shit, right? But those of you who finally got shit popping, maybe you've been through the Victory Unit Discord, right? And you started going through our free courses and all the free trainings we have in there, and you've been building up your money, muscle, mindset, that you ain't chasing hoes no more. You ain't here chasing hoes. Hoes is chasing you. And when you get to the elite level balling, when you really out here doing it big, when you're fucking in superhero shape with fucking, too much money, too much disposable income, right? Like the real ball is like, we be having to spend money at the end of the year, or we just have to give it to the government. And then you get it for like welfare and shit. Fuck that. I'd rather just buy some shit. When you get to that level, the hose is gonna fucking be all over you, man. Right? The reason you chasing hoes now is the hose is chasing us, and we trying to keep them away from them. That's why we put together Thot repellent, right? The hose away from. We've been working on the formula for a long time, and there's been some trials and errors. That's why all your super chats go towards research and development for Thot repellent, right? We do new clinical trials each week, and
Brandon, we did a test.
Okay,
we bumped up from 18 thoughts.
Okay,
for 24.
Okay,
we are over 20 for the first
time.
Come
on, man, over 20. It'll keep over 20 thoughts away from you
for 24 hours.
For 24 hours, right? It'll be like a force field or a barrier, and so like they'll be running towards you. You ever seen I Am Legend? When the fucking vampires and zombies or whatever the fuck they were was trying to get into Will Smith's house, that's what your shit is gonna be like when you really start balling. That's why you're gonna need Thot repellent. But we're having some issues with the quality control. There's still some side effects that we're working on. I got an army of fucking nerds in labs. We're fucking fix it. And we're yelling at them all day because there are some side effects. And we're working, you know, and that's why we need your super chats to help fund the research and development, get the side effects down to a more manageable levels. As of now, side effects include, but are not limited to, booty whistles, kamikaze earwax, negative affirmations, post-nut charity, the inability to breathe on Thursdays, Gaza Strip poker, Tony Robbins head, Kanye West Nile virus, mansplaining, involuntary Wakanda accent. We have to keep the hoes away. Racism, karate vomit, brain saliva, that shit niggas had in I Am Legend, ability to communicate with squirrels, soaking wet dreams, trisexuality. Motherfuckers will try anything. It's cool. It's not, love whoever you want to love. It's not the 90s. It's not Hammer Time. You can love whoever you want, right? Regrowth of umbilical cord, G-Unit sneaker collection, and off-white privilege. Listen, guys, we need your help because the FDA, the Matrix, says that's too many side effects. I thought this was America, man. Yeah, whatever, man. So we got to get the side effects down. That's why we need your super chats for the research. You know, we got to get the side effects down. We can't sell something that causes kamikaze vomit. Thanks a lot, Biden. I thought this was America. All your super chats go towards research and development for this. You know, we got to get this out, man. We got to get this out because like the ballers are falling victim. Look at there's some good men out here who turned into hoes, bitches because of some chick, man. Look at Logan Paul out here looking crazy. Will Smith out here looking crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Every day, a baller falls victim to one of these thoughts, and you can help with your contribution. Enough about our sponsor. Listen, guys, today we have a special guest. We got a lot to talk about. And if you want to ask him some questions, go ahead and throw your super chats in there. You know what I'm saying? To ask him questions. I got a lot of questions for him. He's got a lot to talk about. Now, the word legend gets thrown around a lot, but sometimes it's applicable. You may have seen this man in award-winning films like Team Skeet, Blindfold Blonde Gets Dominated. He also starred in Thickums, Spicy Big Ass Latina Shows Off Tits in Public. That was a good film. A lot of people like that. The critics were raving. Another one of his films was Daughter Swap, Horny Teens Swipe Dads. Now that one had like a really interesting plot. You didn't know where it was going to go, and then it was a cliffhanger. It was like really well written script. You know, I think the writers should get some acknowledgement on that. You know, he also starred in Trickery, Teen Tricks, Australian Refugee into Sex. Right? It was like a devious plot. You know, this is poor refugee it was wild, man. And who can forget what some say is his best work? New Sensations, Cute Babysitter Becomes a Fuck Toy. Who can forget about that? You know, I'd like to bring to the stage and introduce to you my friend. Former, unless somebody calls with the right check, right? You know what I'm saying? Everything's for sale. Former adult film star and former male prostitute, male escort, Stirling Cooper. What up, homie? What's going on, bro?
I'm fantastic. That has got to be the best introduction I've ever heard.
This is your work, man. You know, I wanted to ask Nima to like research it for me, but he's from Iran. You know, they get
it's filtered.
You know how that goes, man. I don't think he's legally allowed to do that. Nah. He'd have to get a VPN or
yeah.
That'd be bad. You know
I haven't heard those titles in a long time.
Yeah, do you remember?
I actually remember exactly the ones you're
out of those titles. Which one do you remember the most?
The one about me being an Australian refugee. Because it happened during like the fires, when they had all the fires on the east coast of Australia. That was the director's, like the director came up with the idea on the spot. He was like, oh, you know what, this is really topical.
Yeah.
All these people think like Australians that don't have a home now, like we're gonna make you a refugee.
Yeah. And then you got tricked. Into and had to have sex with this woman. Man, heavy as the
unsuspecting.
Come on, man. You know, just taking advantage of these poor refugees, man. It happens the more you so because what I remember, it was like you were trying to make a point about like these refugees being exploited all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Just trying to raise funds for my fellow Australians.
This man's doing God's work. You know what I'm saying?
And then some tight blonde teen just takes advantage of me. Look, it's a tough life, Brent.
So what's up?
I need some of this Thot repellent.
Listen, I know you do. You don't have to tell me.
Otherwise, half that wouldn't have happened.
Well, listen, man, you wouldn't have had to make that babysitter a fuck toy. And then you wouldn't be subjected to spicy big ass Latinas showing off their tits in public. No one wants that.
No
one wants that. I mean,
it's basically a hate crime.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And I think it's racially motivated.
Very
you know what I'm saying? So yeah. All right, man. So listen, bro.
I'm so glad I came on.
Yeah. Pause, man. Like, yo, like, okay. We've known each other for a while. Yeah. And we got mutual friends, a bunch of them, man. The Tate Bros, you know, Justin Waller, Jeremy Haynes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where we met. We met at Jeremy's house at a mastermind.
That's correct.
Right? Yeah. And I didn't know who you were, right? Because I know there are men in porn. I know they exist. But it's like
you just see them from the nipple down.
Yeah, it's like they're just like placeholders or like like they're not paying attention to them, you know. But I know they exist. And I think we took a fucking Instagram story, and one of my boys was like, "Hey man, that's Stirling." I was like, "How much porn do you watch?" Jesus. Some motherfuckers are into it, like you know, like
connoisseurs.
And we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about some of this, but some motherfuckers are into it. For me, it's more just maintenance. You know, like you gotta get an oil change for a car or something. You know, it's maintenance. We're just trying to get it over when we get back to work. But you know, some people they seem to be like it's recreational.
Yeah. They're invested in it. I think.
Yeah.
And I think they're more invested in the plot.
In the plot, yeah, no, for sure, man. I mean, there's a lot of plots.
I personally put a lot of my effort into the plot to make sure that you understood the motivation behind my character every time. Like why am I dicking down this big booty Latina?
Yeah,
why? What's my motivation as a person?
There's a character arc,
exactly.
You know. It's just like there's layers to it. You see the character evolve throughout the film. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I mean that's why you're one of the best. That's why you're up there. You've won awards for pornography.
Yeah.
What awards did you win?
I won the best newbie award, basically. Like best newcomer.
Come on, man. Let's give my man a round of applause. Who are you up with? Who'd you beat?
All the other new guys that were coming in the industry. Yeah.
Fucking dorks.
I was also nominated for a bunch of like surprisingly acting awards. It might be hard to believe, but I was quite a talented actor. If I do say so myself. This is why I'm saying you need to listen to the plot. You need to watch the storyline.
Like, pay attention. Exactly. This is art. This is just art.
Exactly.
I digress. So you've also sold your body
in another way.
Yeah, as a male escort,
right?
Which is, if you were a woman, we'd all be looking at you like, ugh, because you're a dude. It's like, yo, that's some gangster shit. Which one came first? The prostitution? Tell me more about it.
Well, it was just servicing wealthy business ladies.
Yeah,
was basically the clientele.
How do you get into this? There's a lot of guys right now who are looking for side hustles. They're looking for. How does one get into that line of work?
You know what? In America, it's actually a bit easier, oddly enough. But because we talked about this before off camera. There's a big agency out here in America. You can sign up to. But how I got into it was I basically figured out, like, I had a few lady friends who did it in their spare time. And they kind of gave me the rundown of like where they advertise, how the whole system works.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? I'm in good shape.
What year was this?
This was when I was like 25. This was a while ago.
Oh shit! Yeah, so
yeah,
you motherfuckers was on Craigslist and shit.
Yeah. that was when that was still around. Yeah. But there was a few other sites. It's legal in Australia, so you can advertise and that sort of stuff. Yeah, or decriminalized, I should say. So you're not going to get dragged away like you might do in America.
Got it. So you weren't even breaking the law.
No, not at all. But you get paid more in America because it's kind of clandestine.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because you restrict access to something there. You know?
I mean, the way they get around it legally in America is technically the woman is paying the man for companionship, and whatever happens between a man and a woman, irrespective of that, is consensual. Yeah, and it's like got nothing to do with the monetary transaction. That's kind of the way they get around it here in America.
All right. So the guys they're looking for side hustles. How does one get involved in this business?
Well, figure out where you can advertise. Get in shape, get some high quality photos done, develop a character, like a sexy stereotype.
You mean like a fireman or like like a character? Like, do I need to be a fucking Black Panther or fucking Captain America? Like, what do you mean?
Okay, so like my stereotype was basically like the James Bond kind of the suave, sophisticated guy who's going to take you out to a fancy dinner. Can wine and dine you, can talk, he's very worldly, can talk about a lot of different topics, make you look good in front of, like, colleagues or whatever. Yeah. If I'm the boyfriend that they're bringing to an event. Yeah. Kind of like that. That's one stereotype. Another stereotype might be like the guy who's in a band, like the leather jacket wearing, like, bad boy. That's another stereotype, right? Here in America, you'd probably go down like what you call like the gangster thug kind of stereotype. That's another sexy stereotype that works quite well.
That's what you meant, because off camera, I was telling him about I had a friend, a childhood friend we grew up with, the homie Dunson. He probably didn't want me to say his name, but it's too late. It already came out of my mouth, and this is live. But there's lots of Dunsons in America, and
could be anybody.
Yeah, and then we were like in our early 20s, and a lot of the homies had died and got sent to jail, and we said, we should stop doing crime, and and I stopped, but I guess I think he thought we meant violent crime. So I guess he figured if he didn't have to have a gun, it wasn't a crime, right? So he started doing like male escort shit, man. He got with an agency, so he wasn't doing his own shit. Yep. He was telling me about the shit. He was saying like these old white women would like he'd have dinner with him, and then.
The way it rolls, man.
Yeah,
I bet that the agency he was working for was called Cowboys for Angels, because that's the biggest one here in America. They, like we were saying before off camera, they did like an whole MTV show about it, like 2 seasons and stuff. Very, very heavily scripted reality TV, but it still kind of gives you a kind of an idea of the way it works. And I actually have a friend who was one of the first guys they hired.
Really,
who works for them. Actually, I have a couple of friends who work for them now. Yeah, they're very professional. They know what they're doing. They make a lot of money.
How much money do you make as a male escort?
Depends what you charge. I mean, back in Australia, I was charging like $500 an hour.
$500 an hour.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I was back in Australia.
And how many hours would you?
Well, sometimes you get a weekend booking, so you're with the woman for like 48 hours.
Hey.
I had this one. My best client back then was this wealthy Chinese millionaire, multi-millionaire. She used to take me out to New Zealand on skiing trips and stuff.
Yeah. So you was like a legit companion.
Yeah.
She wasn't just using you for your body. See what I'm saying?
Gotcha. I'm more than a pretty face. That's why. Didn't I mention the acting thing before?
Yeah.
Right? Worldly, talented guy. Clearly can dress well.
Right.
Talk about a lot of things. You know?
You had to act like you were from James Bond, like you were like James Bondish, right? But you were from the outback.
I'm from the country, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like the opposite.
Like you fucking rode a
kangaroo.
You rode a kangaroo in the town. You had a platypus as a pet.
It's not quite correct. I feel like I'm being stereotyped here, Brandon. I feel like there's some racial profiling going on.
I mean, yeah, that's all we know about. All we know about Australians is kangaroos, Crocodile Dundee, and the Crocodile Hunter.
Steve Irwin.
Yeah, that's it. No, we know nothing else, and we don't want to know.
Just leave it a mystery.
Yeah.
Let your imagination fill in.
I've been to Australia. I mean, that's basically what it's like, man. Like an episode of the Crocodile Hunter.
It's nothing like that.
I don't know what part you grew up in.
Why are you lying?
All right. Back to prostitution. Why'd you stop if you were making so much money?
So I transitioned from doing the escorting stuff into doing porn.
So what made you decide to take that leap?
It was a combination of like, this seems like a ridiculous thing to pursue. Like for lols, if I can pull this off, that's pretty crazy.
Oh, it was just like it was a fucking joke.
Yeah, because I actually initially, at least, I was making less money doing porn than I was doing the escorting stuff. Right? But it was also a case of like, yeah, I'm kind of over whining and dining like middle-aged women and like making them believe that I'm falling for them. That was a big part of it.
Okay,
like, you have to kind of create that intimacy stuff, but it's obviously faked, and it's.
Was these hoes ugly or what?
No, not necessarily ugly, but just middle-aged women who couldn't find a guy they wanted to hang out with and date. Really? They found dating very difficult. That was a big thing I noticed.
Why do you think that is?
Super successful woman, like CEO types, upper managerial types, the kind of guys they would want to date were kind of on their level, don't want to date them. Yeah. They're dating the secretary. So she's like, well, the guy I want is not going for me.
It makes sense now. Because a lot of the girls I know who are fucking successful, right? They have a hard time finding guys because the guys that they want are will fuck a bitch at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They don't,
like legit.
They don't want the kind of guys they want. They don't want a woman who's like working like 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week, like really like grinding. They want a woman who's going to just give them peace.
Yeah,
chill.
Well, that's the myth, right? But none of them give you peace, man. Anyway, that's the dream that everyone's chasing. I digress. There's all the women I know who are like successful, like they really climbed the corporate ladder or started their own business. A lot of them have difficulties finding guys because the guys they want, right? Women don't want it. They'll necessarily want to date down.
Yeah.
Right. So if they want to date up, but the guys are there, man, they'll date anyone. Right. I remember I was a millionaire and I got a chick's number who was fucking doing the fries at McDonald's, man. She was bad. You know what I'm saying?
Guys do not give a shit how much money a woman's making. They do not.
Part of that was because it was funny, but she was bad though. Yeah. As far as McDonald's fried chicks go,
you got to watch out for the acne.
Yeah. She was a McDonald's fry 10, but she was probably a South Beach 6. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
That's a new category. I'm gonna steal. You, madam, are a McDonald's fry 8.
She was a Queens Boulevard McDonald's 10, but she was a Biscayne 6. Enough about me. Enough about me. You said you wanted to start doing porn just for fun, just because it was hilarious.
Yeah, and it was a challenge because of where I'm from. It's like like if you grew up in like California, getting into porn wouldn't be anywhere near as difficult. Like I'm from buttfuck nowhere in country Australia, right? So I'm like, you
are literally from a bush
nowhere. Like kangaroos in the backyard, that kind of shit, right? I had to reverse engineer the whole process. I'm like, okay, how exactly do I get cast in LA? And I nailed it. I reverse engineered it down to the T, and
because you are a former adult film star, everything you say sounds dirty. Like reverse engineer, I'm like nail it down. I'm like everything you say sounds like some fucking wild shit. I want to say no homo after everything you say. All right, hold up. Let's get serious.
I doubt we're gonna get.
You did it just for jokes, but then you stuck with it and you rose to the ranks.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, let me ask you. There's a guy out there right now. He's looking for a side hustle, trying to make some extra money. And he's saying, "Hey man, I can do porn. I like having sex with women. I want to follow my passion." How does he get into that? You know,
in America, it's much easier. There are a bunch of like agents, loads of agents in Los Angeles. There's a few in Vegas, and there's a few here in Miami. So basically, as a guy, at least to start with, you need an agent to get any work. But people don't really like to cast complete newbies. So there's a weird like dichotomy there where you kind of have to have experience, but you also like. It's hard to get experience in the first place. The hardest scene you'll ever get is your first one. It's the hardest one to get.
Yeah.
And you need to like, there's a bunch of, if I was starting out from scratch and I was
what would you do, man?
Here's what I would do.
Let's break it down for him.
Here's exactly what I'd do. I'd find all the super small, like producers and studios, like really kind of like mom and pop shop.
Yeah, family-owned porn operations.
Exactly.
You know, maybe somebody's, they passed it down. It was his dad's porn production agency, and he passed it on to him, and they're just trying to make it work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'd find these smaller ones, and actually, before I did that, I would try to find girls who were in my social circle or who I could connect with. Who, I mean, now it's super easy. Who do like OF accounts and stuff. See if I could do some collabs with them.
Okay.
Start with
and build your resume up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I'd pitch the smaller studio with that resume.
Okay.
And get some experience on camera that way, and then I'd leverage that to pitch like an agency to represent me. That's how you do it. Which is very similar to what I actually did.
Okay.
Very similar. But I did that on the other side of the planet instead.
Okay. And so once you win, then you have an agency and they start getting you the gigs.
Bingo. And the agency gets your work. The agency does all the hard work for you. But you still need to deliver. You still need to like really perform a good scene.
You gotta really perform.
Yeah.
You gotta perform. You gotta take pride in what you do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Ain't no two pump jump.
Nah, man. Come on, man. You gotta. How difficult is that to like perform on camera? Because some motherfuckers can't pee if somebody's watching them. You know,
it's not this. It's not easy. Most guys think they could do the job. They can't.
How many people are in the room? It's like right because we only see. Two people, okay, depending on what your video, depending on what kind of shit you're into. You might be motherfucking 8. We might only see 80 people. It depends on different genres, man. There might be a fucking clown, a dog, goddamn a moose running around. There might be fucking 30 fucking black guys. It could be all types of shit, man. It could be fucking 15 midget chicks. You know what I'm saying?
Anywhere from like 3 to 4 hanging out
in the room.
Yeah, hanging out in the back.
You got a director.
You got your director, your main camera guy, director, or whatever. You got like an assistant, a PA, probably another assistant, and then probably like a makeup lady or like some other like assistant. Basically,
is the fluff girl thing real?
Not real.
That's not real.
Not real.
Okay, because urban legend was there was a girl who would like suck the guy's dick a little bit before it was time to go. That was like a job.
This is the fluff. That is your fluff right there. That's all you got.
All right.
Miss Palmer and her 5 daughters. That's your flopper.
Yeah, and you just got to perform.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the tough part. You got to block all that shit out. You got to because if you don't get hard, no one gets a paycheck.
No one gets paycheck. So
no one's getting paid.
Now motherfuckers are looking at you.
Yeah. You know? And they also want to go home. That's the secret of the porn industry. Everyone just wants to go home.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to get the shit done as quickly as possible, get their check, and go home.
Who cleans up?
The assistant.
The assistant.
Yeah. That's their job. That's the worst job.
Does that person wear like a hazmat suit, or like I'd imagine they're like dressed like, you know, ever seen Outbreak, the movie Outbreak? I imagine it's like a team of people dressed like that who come clean everything up.
No, it depends. Like sometimes it's a chick assistant who does it, and they don't really like glove up or anything. They just like get a toilet roll and just do their thing. If it's a dude, he'll like glove up and he'll like have a bottle of bleach and he's like doing his thing. Yeah. Sometimes they'll make that if you're like spraying like a ton, they'll make you clean up your own mess. It's like, bro, that's not fair on my assistant. You just made like a shit ton of mess. Clean your own shit up. Sometimes that'll happen too. Which is fair, I think.
Is it? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. If I'm like off target, and I'm like destroying the couch,
man.
Like, okay, it's respectful for me to like go in there with the toilet roll and like,
it's like it looked like fucking Spider-Man had a fight in there and shit with. You might have to fucking do some of that shit. No, I get that. Yo, and what if the girl like squirts all over the place? You know what I'm saying? She's got to clean it up.
That's the assistant's job.
Assistant still cleans it up.
Yeah, man.
She can make as much. So what I'm hearing is the woman can make as much mess as she want.
Very much so.
Damn. And then, but the man has to clean up his own mess.
Damn right.
Myron was right, man. It ain't fair for men.
Sexist industry.
This is what Myron's been trying to tell us this whole time, man. Okay. So you're doing lots of porn, right? Did you stop escorting when you're doing porn?
Yeah.
Why?
Just I kind of got over the escorting thing, to be honest.
You just said,
and I just preferred like, okay, I'm with all these really, really beautiful, attractive women now. I'm like, you know what? I prefer this.
Yeah.
I prefer this. And you got to kind of stay like sharp. You know, you gotta stay like on edge. You know what I'm saying?
No,
you don't want to like you don't want to be busting like multiple loads a day. You kind of want to keep yourself on edge of it. So
you can't waste your bullets.
Yeah, you gotta be sharp.
You always got to keep a full magazine.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
Do you get like judged on how much
comes out?
Like like is that a thing?
You'll definitely get like better work. You'll get more work, and you'll get more like the fans will like your work more. If you have, I love the way you laugh. If you absolutely like drench a girl, then like you're probably gonna get a bit more work. If it's impressive and like if the director of the chick's like, damn, like that's a good sign. And I knew exactly. I always made sure I did that. If you eat the right stuff, that'll always happen.
What do you have to eat to make this happen?
I'll give you guys a stack right now if you like.
Hey, listen. Let's get the load stack. Pause. What's the stack?
All right, the load stack consists of 50 milligrams of zinc.
Okay.
About how much was I taking? Probably about 2,000 milligrams of lecithin.
The fuck is lecithin?
You can get soy lecithin, or there's a few different types of lecithin. It's basically it'll increase the overall volume of what you're pumping out. All right. The third big ingredient. Celery. Eat a few. I guarantee you can try this right now. You can try this tonight. Try this tonight.
When he leaves, I'll try it. That's what he meant. Don't start clipping this and make it think it's something it's not.
You do you. You do you. Just I'll apologize to your girlfriend on the way out before you do it. It's like, I'm sorry. You wanted to experiment. You wanted to try it out.
I'm going
go on Whole Foods.
Fucking Instacart. This motherfucker ordered fucking 7 pounds of celery.
That's it. I'm telling you, man. You eat like a couple of like full sticks of celery, man.
Okay.
The next day, it's going to be like super thick and white. It's going to be a completely different consistency. And that's the kind of shit that'll win you awards.
And that's how you win the war.
That's how you win.
All right.
I'm telling you, man. Try it.
This
Guaranteed. It never fails to work.
How much celery were you eating?
Oh, like a couple of sticks.
Like
every evening. Yeah, just like the 2 long sticks. Not the whole bushel.
Okay.
Just 2 big sticks, right? Like that the night before. Next day.
You ever overdid it? You ever ate too much celery?
Yeah.
Nah?
I hate the taste of celery.
All right.
I had to like force that shit down.
Yeah, all right.
For my craft.
Yeah, somebody says celery smoothie. You know what I'm saying? Listen.
No, I always ate the sticks, the whole thing. I don't know. I to this day don't know why it works.
Yeah.
I have no clue. I've never been able to find a single scientific study on this, Probably because no one wants to study this
nobody
for money in a university.
Probably hard to get test subjects, and it's probably
funding.
It's probably hard to get funding.
Very hard to get funding. I would happily fund a study like this just for shits and giggles, just to find out.
The celery industry is probably not going to fund this one. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to.
I'm telling celery sales would double overnight if they did. They're missing out.
Why do we got to come up with all the good
dropping
ideas?
the ball.
Why we got to come up with all the good ideas?
We're innovators.
You know what I'm saying? Listen. All right, Elon Musk out here fucking trying to go to Mars and shit. He needs to get this celery research done. Wasting time, resources. He's one of the smartest men alive, and he's wasting it on bullshit. He needs to be fucking on this, working on the celery shit, the celery semen shit. Elon buying fucking Twitter and shit. Nerd, cut it out. You know what I'm saying? Stop being a nerd, man, and cut it out. He's got like 18 kids, so he probably wants. He's probably looking for the opposite effect. He's probably looking for something.
He ain't slowing down, huh? He
he's gonna populate that planet himself. Man. Yeah, that's his plan. that's his plan. That's his little weird plan. I know. Let's get back on track. Let's get serious. You uncovered some secret performance techniques, though. Like there was other supplements you would take in order to perform, because you said it's difficult to perform on set.
Yeah.
What would that look like?
Okay, so most guys will think like, okay, if you're having problems with a boner, the first thing they reach for is like the little blue pill.
Yeah.
First they reach for a Viagra, or reach for a Cialis. That's their immediate go-to. Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to share some really dark shit right now about the porn industry. So if you take Viagra, let's just stick with that. If you take that shit every day, it stops working very quickly.
Really?
It's a drug, right? It's a pharmaceutical drug. Your body develops a drug resistance to it. So you have to take a bigger dose to get the same effect. It also sucks because you get like headaches and it's horrible.
Really?
So if you take more and more and more of it, eventually it stops working altogether.
Really?
It is the really dark shit about the porn industry no one talks about. So if a dude takes that for too long, he then, in order to keep doing the job, because he's relied on this chemical for so long, he then has to switch up to this really scary shit called Caveject, which is literally a needle he has to inject into his dick. And it's like a little fluid, and he injects that fluid, and it forces like a 2-hour erection.
Really?
Super fucking scary shit.
They're not using the machines, the contraptions that when you see the ads on the side for the contraptions, you know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the even scarier part. So once this needle that dude has to inject into his cock, if he keeps doing that for too long, eventually that stops working too. And then the scary part, he has to go to the robo-dick.
Excuse me?
The robo-dick is a surgery that dudes will get, where they basically hollow out like the fucking penis and they put a pump in there. And so it's like one of those old Nike pumps. Remember those?
Yeah, no, I had a pair. I got robbed for those when I was little. I had to walk home barefooted, south side.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Well,
it's cool.
But at least it wasn't a cock pump.
Yeah. At least they ain't robbed me from my
robo dick. Don't know how they would do that anyway. It's coming with us.
But as weird as a way.
But that's if dudes do this for too much, they rely on these chemicals too.
Really?
They have to get this robo dick surgery, and it's like a little pump, and it fucking.
So you said, you know what?
Whatever.
I don't want an inflatable penis.
Correct.
You said I want to do this the natural way.
El natural.
And how'd you figure it out, man?
I mean, I have a science background.
Okay.
Really? I have a background in chemistry. I graduated with an honors degree in chemistry. I'm actually a published scientific author, believe it or not.
Really?
Legit, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was able to dive into the literature. I could find anything I could find on improving blood flow, cardiovascular health, all this stuff. And I would pick the brains of veteran performers. Anytime I could talk to another guy, I'm like, yo, what's your supplement stack? What's your lifestyle? What's your exercise regime like? And I'm sitting there kind of identify all the commonalities amongst all these different
Did they ever say, man, I'm just black?
Never.
Okay.
No, never the answer.
Okay. That's good to know. We can rule that out.
But that was that's when I started coming up with my own stack that was a bit more was definitely more natural, more reliable. It worked on the fundamental issue rather than trying to develop a drug resistance, a drug habit.
So here's the thing. You're a scientific researcher. Let me get this right. Let me talk about your character arc. Then you go down this dark path of fucking male prostitute, male escorting. And
you're making it sound crazy, Brandon.
No, it sounds like, it looks like, oh man, we've lost this great scientific mind. What could have been? Then he starts doing porn. Now it's like, oh, we lost one of our great minds. We lost another one of our great minds to porn. How are we going to stop?
Have you lost him though?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the character arc. But then you come back with what you learned from both industries, and now you giving us this stack. Now you're helping the people with this stack.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly, bro.
Yeah.
It all comes full circle.
So how did it work for you? I mean, whoa, hey yo. I mean, like, what
exactly do you mean by that question, Brent?
What I mean was, how effective was this stack,
right,
that you came up with?
It allowed me to win awards, allowed me to keep cranking out scenes.
How many scenes have you done?
Over 400.
400 scenes.
Yeah, and that was only in the space of like most of that was in the space of like 3 years.
400 scenes.
Yeah.
Listen, the average guy probably hasn't shaken 400 women's hands
probably,
in 3 years. But some of them were used to repeat girls, right? So it's not so.
Yeah. To be honest, there's so many women in the industry, and there's not that many dudes. Like the male talent pool in the industry across all of America, you're probably looking at like 40 dudes.
Really?
Like that's the male talent pool of guys who are shooting regularly. So those same 40 dudes are basically have their pick of the litter with like,
oh man,
at least 1,000 females.
Wow,
at least across like the whole country. Yeah. So occasionally you'd shoot with the same girl. Okay, like every 6 months or maybe every once or 12 months, but most of the time you're working with new girls. Yeah. Or you're working with multiple new girls at once, which is it's a great day. It's always a great day. But to deliver the job, like you have to make sure like everything's on point, man. Like getting a boner is something most dudes like don't really think about too much. If they start having boner problems, man, it's actually an indicator of an underlying health condition. So like it's a cardiovascular, or it's actually one of three things. It's a cardiovascular issue. So they've got arterial plaque somewhere. Like people think of arterial plaque as like a heart problem, which it is, but it also could be a penis problem. You got arteries in your dick.
Yeah.
Right. You can get arterial plaques in your dick.
Yeah.
Right. Stops that blood flow. It's a nitric oxide production problem. Same with like getting a pump in the gym. Right. We need nitric oxide for that. You need nitric oxide to dilate the vessels in your dick. Get an erection, same principle, same thing works. If you don't have the right, you're not, eating the right stuff, supplementing with the right stuff, it's not going to happen, basically. And that's also a big one too. That's why like the little blue pill won't work at all either. For some guys, it won't do shit.
Oh, because they have other health problems.
Because they don't have the like your body needs nitrates to make nitric oxide in the first place, right?
Got it.
So if your diet consists of like no nitrates, you got none of that in your system at all.
Right.
Little blue pill ain't going to do shit.
Because it's just like a vasodilator, right? So, but you need. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
You need it to make that in the first place. And then the third thing that can happen is a thing called venous leakage. So like venous leakage. Very, very, very fun. You ever seen like varicose veins?
Yeah.
So that's called venous leakage, right? That can happen in your dick too. So all that is like blood flowing in both directions, not being locked in place and flowing in one consistent direction. So that's why the blood pools on the surface of the skin, you get varicose veins. When that happens in your dick, what it means is like, okay, the blood is going in and out basically at the same amount. So you don't get like a full erection.
So you don't get you just walk around with a chub.
Chub, yeah.
You're trying to stick a chub in there, a floppy chub in there.
We call it push and rope. Trying to push rope.
You over here trying to push a dead fish in the air, you know what I'm saying? We've all been there. Been there.
That's a rough day.
So now you actually got a product where you put together all these years of research,
basically, yeah.
Right? And you made the ultimate. Then you tell me more about it.
You could call it the ultimate male enhancement.
Ultimate male enhancement
supplement. But it's designed to be like a natural alternative to like the little blue pill. And one that's actually going to work on fixing those three fundamental issues I just talked about. So like cardiovascular health, nitric oxide production, venous system, fixing all that shit as like a daily supplement. So
and you take it daily.
Yeah.
Does it have other? Does it doesn't have the same amount of side effects as Thot repellent?
It's Thot repellent.
No.
Well, no. Unfortunately, it's going to do the opposite effect to Thot. They're going to come to you. So you're walking around like, Whole Foods with a raging heart on and your sweatpants thing. Like, who's this guy? It has the opposite effect of Thot repellent. So,
really? Okay, so this thing, and what do you call it? Do we have a link in the description if everybody wants to check it out? It's called Wood. It's called Wood.
Simple.
Yeah,
simple. Straight to the point.
Yeah, no, I get it. I see what you did there. So it's like listen, man, that's what I'm saying. Like the artistry, right? I'm saying it's subtle,
right?
I'm
a subtle guy.
If y'all want to
very subtle.
If y'all want to check that out, put the link is in the description. Check it out. If you know what I'm saying. All right, are you saying? Look. Now, what if you don't have problems? Would this even help you more? Because there's been times in my life I've taken Viagra recreationally, just for fun. Does it have that kind of effect?
Yeah. I mean, it's got everything you need to rise to the occasion, shall we say, consistently. And the idea is it's going to help you like alleviate and prevent any of these issues from coming up at all. That's why we insisted it's taken daily, right?
Yeah.
Just fixing all this shit, because the average, like the standard Western diet, standard American diet is so trash, man.
You gotta tell me, man.
I mean, you know about this, like to help, in your previous kind of,
I this may come as a surprise to you, but I work out sometimes.
Oh, really?
I work out, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I've actually trained people back.
No way.
Yeah. For a
I would never have known.
But yeah, most people eat like fucking trash.
They eat like trash. It's a sedentary lifestyle. They're not working out. They're not exercising like after. I think the average American doesn't really do much sport after high school.
The average American is 17 pounds overweight. That's a real stat.
Yeah. So like erectile dysfunction is like an early warning sign of things like cardiovascular issues, diabetes, obesity, like a whole host of issues. If you start having boner problems, consider yourself lucky that you saw that first, because it's an early warning sign that all this other shit is probably on the way.
It's like the canary in the mine.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Like the floppy dick canary.
Yeah. You out here trying to fucking
push rope.
Yeah, man. It's like you take one of the fucking hot dogs out the bag, and then you're trying to like stick that shit inside of things, I don't know nobody want that.
Don't want those visuals.
I got more. So check that out. It's linked in the description. You know what I'm saying? Check that out. I got some more questions. I got some more questions about porn. But I think before we get into them, I think we got some super chats. Mira.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, we have Baller Mindset.
Okay.
Hey, Brandon, I'm a realtor with goals to invest in rental properties. Is it better to be a realtor full-time and learn business that way, or go to college for business finance while working as a realtor part-time? I'm 23.
All right. First of all, thanks for your contribution to Thot repellent. We appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? You're doing God's work. Also, okay. You know that I seem to be the only human on the internet saying that college is cool. I'm like the only one. However, if you want to be in real estate, right, and you're already in real estate, I don't know how much a college degree is gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sound like you're doing what you're trying to do. So I would just stick to that path, especially because you're like, you're already, you should be out of college already, motherfucker, right? So it's like, now, if you want to, though, you could take classes on the side. You could take classes or courses or whatever. You're never going to hear me speak against more education. But for you, I wouldn't go to college because of the time. Like, you a goddamn real man right now. Like, when I went to college, I was 17, right? So, like, you were like a real fucking man right now. And if you decide you want to get more education in business and finance, and you want to get it from a higher university, man, take online classes. Yo, this is another thing I didn't talk about on my episode about college, but Coursera, you can take like college classes or even get degrees for like next to nothing, right? Like Coursera, and you can do it's all online, it's really if I was you, I'd check out that shit. Like I go to school online, but you already doing what you're doing, man. So just go harder with that, man. I'm proud of you, bro. Let's keep that going. You know what I'm saying?
We have Albert.
All right.
Hey man, appreciate the content. Wanted some advice on making high value friends as I have no friends to begin with, and how to attract hard-working people.
Yo, that shit was funny. Yeah, I didn't mean to laugh at you, man. Yo, shout out to your thank you for your contribution to the dot repellent, man. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, we friends now. You know what I'm saying? Because you gave me some money, and that's how, like, that's the way to my heart.
That's how we make
that's
friends.
My
with
love
Brandon.
language.
Just give him money.
Yeah, that's my love language, man. You give me money and or praise. I will also accept praise as currency because I'm a egomaniac.
Nice.
Yeah. But what do you do? You're somebody who's been able to make a lot of friends. You know, listen, you have one of the best networks. You're friends with the Tate brothers, Justin Waller, Brandon Carter. And it's like, whoa, whoa, how'd you do it?
You know me. I bribed him, and I said he had big biceps, and then he became my friend instantly.
Yeah, I'm like a puppy who also responds to money. no, but seriously, what would you tell this young man?
Well, he said you want to surround yourself with hardworking people. You got to be a hardworking person to start with, right?
Come on, man.
Because they're not going to respect you if you're not hardworking.
Yeah,
right? You need to gain their respect first. And I think at least when it comes to networking with guys who have, say, like a social media presence, or who might, I mean, I'm not talking about like just becoming friends with a direct celebrity, but anyone who you see as a bit higher than you on that journey.
We ain't telling them to be friends with The Rock or some shit.
Yeah. But to find guys like that are kind of where you want to be, don't put them on a pedestal. Treat people like humans, man. Like we got along instantly because we respected each other and we related to each other. But neither, like, I wasn't putting you on a pedestal. You wouldn't put me on a pedestal. Like, none of that shit.
Yeah, no,
we didn't even know who I was for a start.
I didn't know you.
Even better. You
have kind of ruined for me a little bit. Like, every time I see you on accident, I'm like, ah.
So I'm doing God's work, is what you're telling me.
Fucking Stirling, that's the
I'm helping Brandon Carter quit porn just by being in it.
There's nothing weird. Listen, I can't watch. Listen, I love porn as much as the next guy, but I am not watching. I'm not watching Stirling. Fuck big booty, a spicy big ass Latina. I'm not gonna watch Stirling do it. Because we're friends.
I feel like that's bro code. I feel like that's discrimination.
Yeah, no, man, it's bro code, man. Now that's Stirling's bitch.
Now I can't even look at it.
Yeah.
Right, the number of guys from high school and college who've messaged me that.
Yeah.
Like, I was just get a message out of the blue, like, "Fuck you, man."
Yeah.
Like, what's up? He's like, he just came up on Pornhub. Now I can't fap anymore. I'm like, doing God's work, man.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Let's go back to this.
The actual question. Yeah. Same thing. Don't put people on a pedestal. Treat them like regular human beings for a start. They're above where you're at. You got to gain their respect by being hardworking yourself, and try to find a way to add value to their life. Whether that's maybe that's through networking, maybe that's through directly solving business problems for them, just giving them some advice on something you know that they don't. That's a big one. Like that's a lot of my connections came from that.
And be valuable in some capacity. Right?
Exactly. Be valuable to people. And then how do you find these people in the first place? Online networks nowadays are a really, really great place to meet.
We met at a mastermind.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell people all the time, like, the best things about masterminds is the people you meet.
Correct.
A lot of times, you know, like you were a part of my boy Jeremy's mastermind.
Yep.
And I was speaking because me and Jeremy just been friends, but I paid Jeremy a lot of money. Like, he runs my ads, right? Yeah. So I paid the most out of everyone there. And it's some, you know, there's like certain clubs, man. Like I would consider masterminds like a club where like you almost pay for access.
Yep.
To certain individuals, you know, and it's something about paying for access, and it like
it's a filter.
It's a filter, man. You know, some people like they make fun of me because, you know, I dress like a fucking rapper or drug dealer, and I dress like a drug dealer, You know what I'm saying? I dress like I'll shoot you. And but it's like, yo, it's like certain times. I mean, I'll dress differently. I'm like chameleon, kind of like I can dress differently for different things, but it's a filter, right? For example, I had the RM on and I walked into the Rolex stop, sure. And you know, man, Rolex be playing games and shit. You know, they don't be, oh, it's on, you gotta join the waiting list, all this shit. I came in with this, he's like, oh, I like your watch. Pulled me right into the me and my girl into the back. He said, we do have some items here. And he pulled out the presidential, you know what I'm saying, the presidential date just with the fucking factory diamond bezel. He's like, you can buy this right now. I can buy it right now. I was like, man, I never met you. I never bought nothing from Rolex.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's just, so something about paying for access, you know.
I agree with that. Yeah. So masterminds, conferences are also really good. Like any kind of business conference you can go to, you're always going to find people, you know, kind of like-minded on that same kind of journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And recognizing where you're at and trying to find guys either at your level or maybe like a rung or two above you.
Yeah. You know? And if you got a skill that you can help that person with, you know what I'm saying? Like that's really beneficial because then they'll be eager to be with and you'll be giving instead of just taking.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like you just want to take from the relationship. You go in with a giving attitude, and then like even when we met, it's like we talked and I linked you up with somebody who could help you run your ads. Remember?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know, I do that on autopilot, right? Because I've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, right. But that's why you have a good network, though.
I think so.
It's because that's a habit.
Yeah,
of always trying to find a way to like add value to someone's life.
Yeah,
that'll guarantee a network.
Yeah,
if that's your default whenever you're meeting someone, like, oh, what do you do? I do this. Oh, I know a guy who can help you with this, or this, or whatever. And you're the guy who joins the dots. That's a big. Even if you don't necessarily yourself know how to like help them, if you're the guy who can join the dots with somebody. Man, that's great.
And it's good to do that all the time, even with people who maybe you feel like aren't on your level or maybe they're not as successful as you yet, you know, because you never know. Some of these motherfuckers, you know, when I first met Tate, man, it was just because he was funny and he was selling, he was just funny. And it was like in 2008.
Yep.
And then, and I had a way bigger following than him at the time, and things have changed. But you know, I was like, oh, like, you know, my boy got this podcast. Let me get you little shit like that. You know what I'm saying? There was stuff that had happened with his like Instagram, and
people remember that shit too.
You know what I'm saying? But it was like I wasn't even trying to get none from him.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was going to be the fucking most Google man on earth. Yep. He was just a guy who I thought was cool and funny. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly
That's it.
Right.
You know?
Exactly right.
Anyway, I think we got another one, and then then Brandon Carter got some questions.
We have Gymnasium Johnny Sins.
Oh, hold on. With the other guy, and the one place you can network, the Discord, the Victory Unit Discord. It's free. We got like 15,000 members right now, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all it's full of guys who are trying to build their money muscle mindset, right? It ain't losers and chumps. If they are in there, they've infiltrated us, and we'll execute. I mean, we'll get them out of here at some point. Oh, I'm sorry. What's Gymnasium Johnny Sins? Okay, so a lot of people call me Gymnasium Jesus.
Johnny Sins.
People call me Gymnasium Jesus. That's just something that the streets started calling me. So sometimes they come up with other gymnasium adjectives.
This one's for Stirling. Gymnasium Johnny Sins asked, any situations you had to say no to?
In the escorting side of things, yeah, there were a couple of instances where I would turn a client down.
Why? What's the criteria?
Enormous.
Oh shit!
An enormous lady. Yeah.
So she should have got a black guy, a black ass.
You said it, not me.
Yo, man, listen, my black friends, man, motherfuckers be dating chicks that way more than them, man. Like normally, it's like no. Hey, man, you know,
you got to know your limits, man. You got to know like what you can work with.
We like to take on challenges, you know, my people, man. We like to take on challenges.
But then in the porno side of things, like there was certain women that were on my no list because they were just like I just didn't want to work with these girls.
Why?
I'd worked with them once before, and they were just like a pain in the ass to work with.
Really?
So they ended up on my no list. There were certain scenes I wouldn't shoot. There were certain directors I wouldn't shoot for. But my agent knew all that, and so like I wouldn't even get booked for them.
Filter.
Yeah, it's a filter.
You ever been some fucking stank pussy, man.
Oh
On
god,
set.
yeah. Oh yeah, that was a rough one.
Really?
You know, it was that. Got a story, man.
Yeah, tell the stank pussy story. And listen, here's the thing. Every guy got at least one stank pussy story, and it never ends with him not fucking anyway. Am I right? And I'm confident that this story will fall along those lines.
Well, look, I was contractually obligated to fuck the pussy anyway.
Yeah, man, the human mind is super good at like rationalizing things. Never underestimate the human mind's ability to rationalize something.
But so it was basically the early warning sign I got was she stripped down to her like underwear, lingerie, or whatever, and she got like a can of deodorant, and then she spread her legs and just started no joke, just started spritzing her like nether regions with deodorant. And in the back of my head, I'm like, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be a rough day.
Did you have to go down on her?
God no.
Okay.
I was like, the director was like, "Oh, eat pussy for a bit." Nope, not happening.
You said no.
Not
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
Nope. Because the moment she like opened her legs, I understood why she was spraying
you
deodorant
smelled
in there.
that shit.
And I'm like a distance away. I'm like, God damn, this woman needs some fucking hygiene lessons. That was a rough one.
You did it anyway, though.
Clap
Hey,
for-
man,
clap
that's why
for
you're an award-winning.
trooper.
That's why you're an award-winning adult film star. That's how you win the awards, man. Anybody can show up when things are easy. You know what I'm saying? But you got to fight through it sometimes.
Right.
All right. You said some of them are a pain in the ass. Explain that.
Divas. Complete divas. So like they're rude to like the assistants or whatever. They're on their phone all the time. They're not like paying attention. They're just a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Or it's that, and there's like this zero chemistry.
Really?
So it's a combination of that, like the zero chemistry, and she's annoying and rude. I'm like, man.
So what do you do?
To get through that, you got to hate fuck them to get through that first. You got to go somewhere a bit dark.
Yeah. No, I know.
And then
I
man's been there. Okay,
you gotta tell me about.
Yeah, not that far, but you just don't want to deal with that shit.
I remember once I was talking to Tate. I don't know if I should say this. Fuck. Yeah, story that starts with I was talking to Tate. It's probably not what you should say. But Tate, I remember how this came up. But I was like, yo, man, you bitches think you being romantic when you like fucking choking them, but really I genuinely dislike this person. She thinks it's sexy. I'm a sexy bad boy. No, I just don't fucking like you.
Then they'll fall in love with you for that. She'll fall in love with you.
They're crazy people, man. Listen, they're interesting. They're interesting people, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll never understand them.
That's what makes life exciting.
Yeah, man.
That makes life fun.
Another question. You ever dated any of the girls?
Yeah, initially when I was in LA.
What's that like? I'm asking like I
like you don't know.
No. What's that like?
Better way about it.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's a lot to do with networking. So
go on.
So if I think about it, so if because the women get work super easy, the dudes you got to build up a reputation, right? So if this is my girlfriend or whatever, right? Well, I dick her down correctly. She's then going to talk to every single director she works with. She's going to be like, "Oh, have you shot Stirling Cooper?
Oh,
you should. He's good."
She'll be campaigning to get you in the scene.
Basically, yes.
Was that better to do a scene with your girlfriend?
No, I mean, I didn't actually. Two different girls I did. I did scenes with the second girl I did. The first girl I did, I didn't do any scenes with her.
Really?
But she was just recommending me to a bunch of dudes, a bunch of like directors again and again and again.
What's that like, man? You both come home from work, right? She's like,
she's like, limping. I'm like, you're like, I'm drained.
How was work, babe? And she's like, oh man, I was shooting with blacked today, so
these guys, this room full of guys.
Well, today was gangbang day, so no, seriously,
it's interesting because it's like you can actually talk about shit like that and they get it. Like I can come home from work and be like, man, this bitch, she was doing this, she was doing that, she was like, and she'll be like, Yeah, I get it, babe. Like it's this weird situation where you can actually talk about work with somebody after work. It's weird.
Yeah,
I'm not going to sit there and pretend it's like this, like having a regular relationship.
Yeah,
sure as hell not.
I'm assuming.
And there's strategy behind doing it.
Was there any jealousy and shit?
Not really.
Yeah,
like you kind of knew what
yeah,
you knew what you're signing up for.
You know what's up.
You know exactly what you're signing up for.
That's wild. Like to think about. You know what I'm saying? Like the average person can't think
unless you've been like a big part of it. You don't think about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It always helped when like I was getting more work than they were.
Okay.
So it's like I don't know.
Did you ever have
if the dynamic was the other way around, I probably wouldn't have probably wouldn't even gone down that path, right?
Yeah.
But because I'm working more than she is, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm coming home with more like war stories than she is on a regular basis.
This is a legit question. I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm definitely not trying to disrespect you because my man.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah, I know. Did your girl ever get like a gangbang done on her, then come home to you?
Not either of these two girls. No.
Okay. All right. No. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Like we like that. You know, it's so weird because you probably had to. Because I knew people not in that industry, right, who would work like that, but it was like I had a friend. He's dead now, right? You can't cancel me for my dead friend's action. But he was like a real pimp. His name was Saucy, you know, and Saucy would go. Well, you know, he is bitches might fuck like multiple dudes in one night, you know, and then you know Saucy would fuck the bitches. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't even think about it though, right? Because he was.
Yeah, you got to put that shit out of your mind.
Yeah, there was something
because it ties into like the ability to put when you're shooting a scene. Oh, these 4 people sitting in a room, like looking at the lights, looking at the shot. You have to put that out of your mind too. So it kind of goes hand in hand as a guy. Well, the ability to put shit out of your brain.
Saucy did end up killing himself. I shouldn't have laughed at that, right? But he did. I don't know if because of that, but I think Saucy just had a hard life in general, man. Rest in peace to Saucy, man. I learned a lot about life from him.
Not like it's. I'm going to be perfectly clear. It's not something I would recommend to the average guy.
I'd imagine.
Would 100% not recommend it.
Did you ever have to do a scene with one of her friends?
All the time.
And what's that like?
The friends really liked me and would like talk to her about how much fun they had.
Well, what's that like?
great for me.
Yeah.
It kind of creates that little bit of jealousy or whatever.
Yeah. Was it? But she can't get too jealous because she a porn star.
Yeah, and they're all bisexual too. So
and they're all bisexual too. Speaking of bisexual,
where's this going?
I'm just genuinely curious about some of this shit. Pause. Pause. Hey yo. No, listen. You done scenes with like 2 dudes, and like you and a guy are gangbanging
like
a girl,
spit roasting a girl, that kind of stuff. You never heard that expression?
No.
Is that an Australian expression?
What is
spit roast? Like a pig on a spit.
Right, but y'all doing that shit. Now, I've never done no shit like that because personally, I don't want to be in the same room with a naked guy with an erection. Right, I don't want to be in the same building. I don't want to be in the same building with a guy with erection. That's not me being homophobic. That's just my preference. You can't shame me for that. Don't you can't cancel me for having a preference. No. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong if you like that shit. YouTube moderators. I don't care what no one does. In fact, my man Stirling used to do it all the time, man. Tell me more about it. Was that like is that weird? Something you get used to? Were you doing that shit before you got into porn?
You get used to it real quick. You get used to it. It's just again, it's another part. Like you're blocking that out. You're kind of blocking out the half of her.
Yeah,
that has like another dude attached to it.
Yeah,
you're focusing on the half that you have. That makes sense.
You're focusing on your piece of the pie.
Yeah, you gotta block shit out, bro. That's basically it. And you actually make more money doing those things too. Like
really,
I mean, it's a tougher scene, right? So you can make a little bit more money.
Yeah.
Those are the rough day. I tell you, the worst day, bro, the worst scene to shoot.
What's that? What's the worst?
The worst one to shoot is what you call a blow bang.
Excuse me,
a blow bang.
No, go on.
So you know what a gangbang is? Is like a bunch of dudes and one chick.
Everyone knows that,
right? A blow bang is the same thing, but it's only like blowjob scene. So basically, you're in a room with like 8 other dudes, and you got to take turns to get half a blowjob for like 30 seconds, and then you kind of go back to the end of a queue.
Yeah,
and you're sitting there like trying to maintain a boner, like when you get a glimpse of like a chick's leg, like maybe a little bit of a butt cheek, and you're like trying to stay locked in the zone to like wait your turn to get back to the front of the line. Shittiest day. That's the worst one. If you can do that, you can do anything. So
you're like a sexual Olympic athlete.
Yeah, you could look at it like that.
Yeah, I'm over here doing regular shit, one-on-one sex with a woman. You're over here doing blow bangs.
I'm doing like 1/8 sex when you think about it. Like you're rationing your dick.
Oh, but then everybody's got a bust on her.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you gotta go bang, pop it.
Is that not gross? Like you got to, unless you're like the first one to bust, right?
Well, you're not touching it. You're doing it from a distance, right?
Okay. You're just shooting, especially you've been eating celery, so it's
exactly
from across the room.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You taking that them wood pills, the same formula.
You get some
right?
range. You get some range on it.
You get, man, you fucking like a Call of Duty sniper.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, the strategy with that is you got to make damn sure you're not in some other dude's firing range.
Yeah, don't want no friendly fire.
And you gotta be respectful. Like if you're like if I know there's a dude in my range, I'm like off the camera. I'm like,
cover, take cover,
move, bro. You don't want to stand there. So you're gonna help a guy out a bit like
incoming.
That.
Yeah. All right.
That's just basic courtesy.
Yeah. Listen, that makes a lot of sense. Did that change your perspective on sex? You know, because because I used to be a musician, right? You know, like I was. A lot of people don't know this. I don't talk about it, but I was signed to Sony Records as a rapper and producer. Like when I was in college, I like opened up for like LL Cool J and fucking Ludacris and Kanye West. Was like, and then I got a record deal right after college, and it was Sony Records, and I got dropped when they merged with BMG, and it was cool though, but it kind of turned me off from the music industry. And what the analogy I used to say was, I lost my love for the industry. I said the music industry is to music what pornography is to sex.
Yeah.
But did that change your perspective on like sex in the real world in any way?
You know what? It happened. Like once I got out of porn, it made like regular sex way more enjoyable.
In what way?
Because you don't have some director in the corner telling you how to fuck.
Because it's not a room full of motherfuckers, man.
that's a big part of it.
Yeah,
but it's like you have to, like when you're doing porn, you're having sex for the viewer. Yeah. You're not even really having sex for yourself. You got to contort at certain angles so they can get a good shot. You got to do certain things a bit more acrobatic that you wouldn't normally do that are uncomfortable. Like you're not really fucking the way you want to fuck half the time.
Yeah.
So it makes like your regular sex life way more enjoyable because it's like, oh, I just get to do my thing. Yeah, so much more enjoyable.
You know what's weird, man? This is gonna sound weird, but this is the part where it's gonna sound weird. Everything else totally normal.
Oh, right.
No, but you know, like I understand it because having threesomes with like 2 girls, like it made me like one-on-one sex better. Because I just felt like it was a lot going on, man. It's like
I'm the opposite, man. I give the more women I have in the room at the same time, it's like exponential. I have like my vigor like doubles every time there's a new girl in the room.
I think
I love
hey
it.
man,
I love it.
Listen, man, everybody has their own, you know what I'm saying, preferences. But for
so it sounds like 2 girls in the same room is like your kryptonite. That's how you diminish Brandon's power.
It's just not like guys be so excited about it, and I'll be like, bro, it's not, it's fine. Like I don't know. Personally, I'd rather just, you know. Yeah,
I agree to disagree.
Hey man, it's all good. It's all good. I'm probably in the minority. As that.
I mean, you're in the majority in the fact that you've even had a threesome with 2 chicks.
Really, that's something that's rare.
That's super rare for guys to act super rare. Yeah. So we're in the club.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Cool. Okay. Can you give me 5 things you learned about women from being an adult film star?
Easy. Yeah. First of all, they're a lot kinkier and more perverted than the average guy would think.
Tell me more about that.
Like, female sexual fantasies can be very dark.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, guys just be wanting a girl who's hot. Right, girls be wanting a guy who's like maybe he might be a serial killer or like psycho shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of that shit going on.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that shit going on. So they'll get off to things that are a bit more like physically dominant, like you talked about, like the choke and stuff before. Like anything down that path tends to be a lot more common than guys would think. Well, girls will really get off on that. The other thing I'd say that women's bodies are very, very similar. Like the same buttons you can push on pretty much any girl. Like once you know what buttons to push, yeah, like some women like might have more sensitive nipples than another woman. Some women might have they get off from clitoral stimulation versus penetration. Okay, there's minor differences like that, but most women tend to enjoy very similar things. So like most women, if you can pull a girl's hair correctly, they enjoy it, right? Most girls like a bit of spanking here and there. Most girls like having like the neck or like traps kind of like nibbled on and kissed. Like there's all these different erogenous zones that are basically unilateral across the board.
Right. This is probably some minor variations, some people who outliers.
Yeah, there's a couple of outliers here and there, but for the most part, all the buttons are still there.
Would you say okay? Now, listen, I have not been with as many women as you, but who has, right? Like it. You think it's this to make a woman orgasm? It's the same for every woman?
No, not the same for every woman.
That's what I'm saying. In my experience, it's like a fucking. Okay, here's what I think is so. I always thought it's so funny, because girls will ask the guy like, "Well, how was it?" But guys would just be like, "Yo, you did it." You know what I'm saying? Like we don't give a fuck. we're not judging her performance, right? As much, right? Maybe you are, right? Because you're more of a connoisseur, right? But it's like.
I get that a lot, actually. I get women who think I'm gonna judge their sexual performance.
Yeah.
And I'm like, honey, no,
man,
no. I'm gonna enjoy this.
It's like you don't. It's like some pizza is better than others, but you don't get bad pizza.
I ain't sitting there. Yeah, exactly. I'm sitting there rating it like, oh, I've eaten at a 5-star restaurant. I'm still gonna enjoy Domino's.
Yeah, right. But to make one of them orgasms, like every vagina it's like a combination lock, and you gotta fucking crack the code,
like
right?
Safe, yeah.
And then once you crack the code, once you learn how to crack the code for that lock, okay, you can crack that shit at will, right? Yep. But it's like you fucking gotta figure that shit out. It's like a fucking bomb that's about to diffuse, man. you gotta have a little bit of time to figure shit out, man.
That's kind of what I'm talking about with all these different buttons. Like they won't necessarily cause an orgasm, but they'll build up.
Yeah,
like it's like a temperature gauge, right? Think of it. All these little different things you can push, like they're going to raise the temperature a little bit.
I get it.
And you're trying to get to boiling point. Like boiling point is like whatever particular angle she needs, whatever particular clitoral stimulation she needs, and she's going to get off. But all these other little things just build up. They're all foreplay, right? They just build up that temperature gauge till we're closer to boiling.
So
point.
You're so skilled, so well versed that you can crack the code relatively quick with it.
Yeah, it's pattern recognition.
Yeah.
Once you've seen it, you again and again and again, you're like, oh, this girl's going to get off from like cowgirl, or this girl's going to get off from like me playing with
and you can tell like earlier.
It doesn't take long. Once you start to read a woman's body language, right?
I remember like in my 20s, man, when I was like young, like I was like, I felt like Mission Impossible trying to defuse a bomb. Like I got to figure this out, man. I got a reputation uphold. Sometimes you figure it out, sometimes you don't. Yeah. All right. Okay. That was one.
That was two. That was two.
Okay,
That was two. That was two there.
What
was the first one? I said
the first one was the all women's body are the same.
There was something else in there. There was at least two in there. I know there was at least two in there. I'll give you another one. I thought of it as we were talking a minute ago. Hang on. Change subject for a second, then I'll come back to it.
What'd you say?
I said change subject for a second, then it'll come back.
All right. Well, we've all been focused on the Palestinian-Israeli conflict.
That does it. Oh, Jesus. That's what I was going to say. That actually made me remember.
Okay,
believe it or not,
hey man, you're saying I've been doing this podcast shit for a while.
Whoa, what just happened?
Oh, hey, fucking
take it off.
Them pills you gave me was working.
You just raised the entire desk, man.
I accidentally hit this button there. It was a standing desk. The bills is kicking in, man.
Whew. You have to cut back a bit, Brandon.
Sorry, man. I had some celery before this. No, sorry. Go ahead.
All right. What I'll add in there is that the average, like a beautiful woman, basically every woman are insecure in their body for some reason. Guys might think like, oh, she's a 10 or whatever. She's probably more insecure about her body than like the 6. Like beautiful women are really, there's something insecure.
So the 6 is just they said fuck it long time ago.
They still got insecurity.
They said, you know what? I'm going to focus on my personality.
They definitely have insecurity still, but like guys might think that like a really beautiful woman is just this like total narcissist or she's got like supreme self-confidence. It's definitely not the case. Like really beautiful women do have like insecurities about their bodies, but like the more they try to perfect their beauty, they tend to have like there's something there, like they don't like the way their nose is shaped.
Like some Michael Jackson shit.
Some weird little thing like that. It's very consistent. Another thing I'll add.
Most girls don't get one surgery.
No,
most girls don't get one.
They've got one, they'll get 2 and 3. Like
now it's a project.
It's a rabbit hole.
It's a fucking project.
Yeah,
this shit's gonna keep happening.
I think BBLs. I think that's the dumbest thing.
Listen, you sin. The words expressed by Stirling Cooper are not reflective of Brandon Carter or the Victory Unit podcast. All right. If you want to suck some fat out of some other part of your body and put it in that ass, we here at the Victory Talk podcast, we support your decision. You know what I'm saying? We support your decision and we encourage it.
All I'm saying is a BBL on a woman looks like a toupee on a dude. It's obvious. We all know it's fake, right? And it's dangerous.
It depends on the ones, man. I've been fooled before.
I'd much rather a girl like just hit the squat rack.
What'd you say?
I'd rather her hit the squat rack.
Yeah,
build it up, even if it's not as gigantic and cartoonish.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I do like them, but it's just I can tell it's ridiculous.
Well, that's because you're of European descent. You don't have the same
proclivities.
Yeah, you don't have the same proclivities.
I don't know, Brad. My dick's black on the inside. Did you not see my title, Big Booty Latinas?
No, I was there.
47.
Yeah,
it's one of my best films.
There's a. So I had a Google Doc, like my favorite scenes, right? Because I don't do it for recreation. I'm just trying to get the shit done. So I need to get right. I know the right spot. And then once we became friends, I had to like take one off. I had to take one off. You know what I'm saying? And she wasn't white. She wasn't white. Anyway, again, we'll agree to disagree on the BBL shit.
Fair enough. Listen, fine.
But brothers know what's up, man. Go ahead. What do you think?
I don't know. We'll keep going down this list. Guys would be surprised at how bad the average porn chick is at a blowjob.
Really?
It's a show job. It's all for the camera. It's all to look good. It doesn't for a lot of these really like hyper aggressive like suck fests or whatever do not feel as good as you would think they would feel. It's very, very fucking rare. Like there's literally one girl, and I've actually asked a bunch of other male porn stars this, like, who's the best? There's one chick, and it's actually hand jobs specifically. There's one girl in all of porn who's like incredible at hand jobs, and everyone else is shit at them.
Who's that?
I don't want to give. Why? Away, man. You're gonna add her to your spreadsheet.
No, I'm not going to add her because you're likely to show up, and we're talking about for the audience.
I'll tell you off.
I legit want them to know. like I'm being for real. I want them to know. Okay.
We can't give them everything.
Who gives a good blowjob in the adult film?
Angela White.
Angela White. I don't know who she is, but yeah, I'm saying
multi-award winning. She's Australian too, actually.
Oh, good day.
She's like the GOAT. She's like one of the.
She's the GOAT.
The GOAT.
She's the GOAT. She's like LeBron James.
Yeah.
She's like Michael Jordan and shit.
Yeah, that's super accurate.
Yeah.
She's the Michael Jordan of taking dick. Something like that.
If you do what you love, man, you never have to work a day in your life. You know. All right, we need more.
What else you got? Super.
He needs one more. We need the fourth one, man.
That was 4. That was the 4th.
Nah, man, you lied about.
You guys
one.
aren't keeping track of this shit.
All right, so
we're
gonna put it
count properly.
When we make this to a video, it's gonna be 4 or 5.
I need to give you one more. I need to give you one more because I'm keeping track.
Right.
You guys might be losing track.
You didn't remember what the second one was.
Yeah, I know I said it.
I know I said some words, man.
I know I said it. You know what? I might pull from not the porn stuff. I might pull from like the escorting side of things instead. And again, I'd say like women just need to feel beautiful. They tie up this kind of, it does tie in a little bit into the porn stuff too, but women will tie up a lot of their sexual self-esteem and their ego around like their ability to get a guy off. Like if a woman can't get her man off, she starts to feel really like insecure,
really
deep down inside. If she can't make him finish, she's thinking like, oh, what's wrong with me? He doesn't find me attractive. Am I ugly now? Like all kinds of shit like this will 100% run through her head. There's a deep insecurity there.
How'd you figure that out?
When you don't, if I was with like a client, they would insist that I finish. Insistent.
Really?
Like I didn't care either way. I'm like I'm here to wine and dine you
for the money.
I'll do my thing. I'll last as long as you need me to last. Like get you off, cool. But they would insist that I finish.
All right.
Yeah, very much tied into that.
Was that surprising to you when you?
That was actually quite surprising. Yeah. That was one of the. I learned that kind of early on, but that was quite surprising.
All right. Yeah. All right, man. All right. Well, listen. Let me ask you. I want to ask you about something. There's a lot of guys in the community. There's a lot of guys on the internet who really preach against masturbation. They say the no fat movement. What's your take on that?
I don't think you're going to get magical superpowers by not ejaculating.
Motherfuckers, man, listen.
I mean,
we're going to levitate. You're going to fly and some shit.
Right. You can read minds now. You can predict the stock market perfectly because you didn't jerk off for 30 days. Yeah. I mean, we're in the middle of No Fat November right now.
Yeah.
Well, not middle. We just started. Yeah. I'm seeing all the memes on Twitter already. Mm-hmm. I think it's a good idea for dudes to abstain from consuming pornography all the time. Yeah. Like,
tell me more about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna affect guys differently. Some guys can like consume it and not have a problem with it, right? Same with like alcohol. Some guys turn into alcoholics. You give a guy a bottle of whiskey, he's under a bridge. Yeah, right. Yeah. Other guys can perfectly like regulate themselves with it. Yeah, so you got. It's
not like crack, right?
Like
crack, you can't smoke crack recreationally.
Yeah,
you smoke crack. That's what you do now. That's who you are. It's not like that.
I haven't smoked crack, so I don't know, but I would assume that's the case. Assume that's the case. But I'll say that, like, if a dude like is habitually like jerking off, especially jerking off to porn, his brain is like he's wiring his brain in a negative way. Like his brain requires overstimulation, more visual stimulation to achieve the same thing. And what tends to happen is due to fap to porn regularly. When they're with a real woman, it's nowhere near as exciting. And so they don't have performance issues, like all this negative stuff.
That's something that happens a lot.
Yeah, that stuff manifests.
So this guy's like, man, how come she didn't dance for me for 10 minutes and then give me a 30-minute blowjob before we did it?
Right.
You know what
I'm saying? Like they're just regular women, man. So you gotta get reclimatize yourself to like any average dude should. If you have an average naked woman in front of you, by default, you should get a hard on. That's if you're not,
it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. If you are having problems like that, first thing I tell guys all the time is like, look, stop watching porn, stop jacking it. Again, will it make you fly? No. No. Will it give you Superman-like powers? No.
They oversell this shit, man.
Yeah, but I will say that it will increase your discipline It will absolutely improve your discipline and your focus and your motivation.
Yeah.
Because it's tied into like your dopamine circuitry.
Right, for sure.
Like when you're jerking it all the time,
100%.
like you're just bombarding your dopamine circuits with like overstimulation. So you need more of the stimulus to achieve the same result, right?
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of delayed gratification.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I get that.
So I think if guys like do abstain from jerking all the time, you'll probably find you're more motivated. You're probably going to find you're going to go talk to women more. If you're blue balling it,
yeah,
you're like, well, I want to get a date, so I'm going to go talk to that pretty girl in the shopping mall or whatever.
That's guys who need to talk to girls more.
That's true,
right? Yeah. So, can I present a counter argument?
Go run it. Right.
This is a counter argument. I don't care what people do in the private parts. It's none of my business, man. You do whatever you want. It's not advice. Just something else to consider. The whole, you'll be more horny and you can talk to girls more. That might not be a good thing for every guy. You know what I'm saying? There's some guys
they're
who
already
super
horny.
Yeah. Harvey Weinstein probably should have fucking rubbed one out before he went to work.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Good point.
He'd probably be in a different position right now. You know, but for real, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of guys who are already too aggressive when they go out with girls, right? They put too much pressure on the girl, right? And they can probably use, hey man, just
some breaks.
It just take the edge off.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? No, for real. I know it sounds funny, man, but I'm not being funny, right? Like, I mean, it's funny, but it's not a joke, right? You know, there's a lot of guys who, and also check this out. Let's say even if you got a girlfriend, right? The average woman's has about 10% of the testosterone of a man, right? Right? You know what I'm saying? Something like that, right? So, I mean, listen, you've been with more women than everyone in this building, probably on this block, put together, right? So, if the guy is just as horny as he is, right? Is she gonna want to have sex with him as much as he wants to have sex with her? All the time?
Oof. You know what? I think if a woman is like infatuated with her dude, if he's like pushing the right buttons all the time, very often she'll want to fuck him more than he wants to fuck her.
Okay, check this.
I actually think that's probably a very good position to be in.
I think it's a good position to be in, but like vaginas get sore, man. Like you're not thinking about this poor woman, man. Like am I wrong? Like vaginas get sore. Like now you're used to dealing with professionals. I'm talking about regular women who don't have sex for a living, right? Their vaginas be hurting and shit. You know what I'm saying? And am I wrong about that or
no? That's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So
they're gonna take a break.
Is she physically capable of doing it as much as, let's say, the horniest guy, right? Not all guys. Like let's say a guy peak testosterone.
Right. She can use her mouth. She can use her hands. she can get that a break.
I can stand behind that. The woman needs to work hard, is what we're saying. I can stand behind that.
If she wants to keep keep that guy satisfied, if he's got that like 10 out of 10 sex drive, that's what she signed up for.
Listen, I can't argue. The man makes sense. The man makes a lot of sense. And it's like your mouth's not bleeding, is it? You know what? Unless it's a tampon in your throat. Stirling says you get back to work. You get to work. You know what I'm saying? I don't stop paying the bills a few times a month, a few days every month.
Just because I'm cranky.
You know what I'm saying? oh, my penis is bleeding. I don't do my job.
If your penis is bleeding, you need to see a doctor ASAP. That shit is bad.
Yeah.
Actually, I know a guy who broke his dick.
Excuse me?
I know a guy who broke his dick. Snapped the fucker.
It can break?
Could snap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look, you do not want to Google this shit.
No.
Terrifying.
I'm not Googling nothing with the word dick in it.
But this guy,
and that's okay if you want to, though, right? YouTube moderators, that's totally cool, man.
I think you can
guys can Google whatever they want, man. I don't care. YouTube moderators. We're solely inclusive. You know what I'm saying?
But this guy, he was shooting in the fake taxi. To the, like the old London cab. There's an English porno. In the back of a London cab, and this girl was bouncing up. This is a reverse cowgirl, the most dangerous position you could ever.
Yeah, that shit is terrifying.
Do
they do not know this shit is fucking terrifying,
here's
right?
the rule, guys. If a girl is doing reverse cowgirl, you hold the fuck onto her.
You gotta
hold those
like
hips.
a safe belt, right? That shit is terrifying.
Do not let her. Actually, oh god, I'll give you another. You want me? You think I'm on number 4, number 5? I'll give you.
He broke it. She broke. She came up too high and then broke it. Came
up. It slipped out. Came down on full strength. Crack.
Yo,
bright purple. They actually put the scene up on Pornhub. They put it up there, so you could actually see it happening.
Did he ever recover?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He recovered. He had to go to hospital. Had like a catheter in his dick for like 3 days or some shit. It was horrible. Yeah.
That shit is terrifying,
scary,
bro. It's terrible. You gotta
hold him. Hold him,
man. Like
don't. Okay, that's. I was gonna say that's. I'll give you like.
They don't teach you this.
I'll give you the fifth.
I don't know why they don't teach us this in school.
That's another big insight I got on women. They don't know where their own vagina is. They got no clue. They're clueless as to where their vagina actually is. I'll give you a perfect example. We'll be shooting a scene, and it's like, all right, we're gonna do doggy style, and she bends over and she puts her pussy like up near my nipples.
Okay.
I'm like, honey, where are my hips? My hips are down here. Do you have any idea where the penis and the vagina are? Because it doesn't look like it. But the way you're positioning your body right now, like, I don't get this. That's super common. Women have got no clue where their pussy is. No clue at all. They're not. I mean, it makes sense. They're not the one who has to do all the work. Like I have to do all the work. I got to know the angles. Blah blah blah. You just sort of sit there and it happens to you.
Yeah.
But get a clue. Get a clue.
You just sit there and enjoy the ride. Okay. Let's get serious.
Wait, now we're gonna get serious.
Yeah. So you're saying no fap can help some people. You totally. But yeah, okay. It's definitely not something you want to be doing all the time. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah,
but don't oversell it.
I would. Yeah, I think
don't develop a personality around it.
Yo,
if your entire identity is like I do no fap, I'm a no fap guy. Don't base your entire personality around not touching your dick.
Don't be a fucking nerd about it, bro. Like me thinks you may protest too much. You know what I'm saying? Like if I start hearing this shit, oh, you fucking making YouTube videos about it all the time. You always talking about like, all right, bro.
Yeah,
we got it.
Calm down.
Here's where I land on that. I don't think you should do. I don't think you should be recreational, man. It's just maintenance. You know what I'm saying? Like if you
I get it.
That's
strategic fap.
Come on, man. Strategic. It
makes sense.
Yeah, just this might be strategy. So you calmer when you're out in the wild, if you need it, right? Or it's like sometimes you just can't sleep. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey man, I'm not going to stay up because it's no fap November because I made some arbitrary rule. I'm not going to stay up trying to go to sleep with a hard on. Because of some arbitrary rule, man, I'm gonna rub one down and go to bed. I'm gonna get some rest. I'm gonna get my REM sleep. It's a strategy, man. Nothing's good or bad. It's like a knife.
It's what you do with it.
Yeah, it's what you do with it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can use a knife to cut up food for children at an orphanage, or you use a knife to stab people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just context.
Yes.
Context is important. All right. I think we got some super chats.
We have Shade with just $1.
Hey, shout out to you, Shade.
We have Money Moves. BBC and Homie, I looked up what it means to be a man, and the idea of having a backbone came up. What does it mean to have a backbone, and how do you build it?
Deadlifts.
I don't listen, man. I'm assuming this guy's a teenager, you know what I'm saying, and very young. And listen, man, you want to take this one? I don't know what to say.
I can answer that. I can give you some ideas. Okay, having a backbone means like having standards, having boundaries.
Okay,
knowing what they are, right, and then like respecting them, and making sure people respect them. So making sure your girlfriend respects them, making sure your friends respect them. Yeah, and calling people out when they cross your boundaries.
Not being like a pushover. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, not being a pushover.
Yeah,
that's it.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good definition. I like that, man. Get to work on that, Money Moves. Look forward to hearing about your progress.
Well, Stirling's back in Florida. Question: what hygiene products do you recommend? As we know, a lot of them have cancer-causing and T-level lowering chemicals.
I'm assuming you're talking about like deodorants and stuff like that, or actually, well, deodorants you can go with like basically like salt-based ones, like crystal salt-based ones.
You one of them guys?
You can go there.
Yes, right. You one of them guys.
One of them guys.
Yeah. I've seen
and for toothpaste, you can go. There's a really good one in America called Bites, which is basically like it's not fluoride and it's basically just like bicarb soda and stuff, but it's like something you crunch down with a bit of water, brush away like that. It's a better alternative than like fluoride-based toothpaste.
Something's wrong with me, Stirling. I hear like shit. Like I saw one of your video about aspartame.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
you're very pro like.
I'll take a pound of it.
Diet soda.
It's like it's weird, man. Like if I hear something's like fucking people up, I'll be like, I bet it won't fuck me up. I'm
to be fair,
super strange.
You are a living, breathing example that it hasn't fucked you up.
Yeah, and maybe I'm an outlier, but I remember when. Okay, I'm like the only person on the internet who will admit they took the fucking jab, right? But I was living in Manhattan, and I remember people were scared of it, and then the J&J was like fucking people up, and I was like, word.
He fucking
give me that shit. Yo, I swear to God, I went in there. Yo, give me the one that's fucking everyone up, man. I bet I eat that shit. What's up? And I took that shit. Nothing. Now this is me. I'm not saying I think everybody should be able to make their own decisions. I don't think that type of shit should be forced upon anyone, right? But something's fucked up with me, man. Motherfuckers
that's your flex.
Yeah, motherfuckers say tap water's bad. I'm like, motherfucker, I'll drink a gallon of that shit daily, man. Watch nothing happen to me, man. Like. I don't know, man. I'm fucked up. But like if you guys want to get like, what I'm saying, fancy deodorant, toothpaste, do that.
I advocate that.
I mean, I don't speak against it. I'm not against it. It maybe just I fucking I had like humans try to kill me and shit. So like maybe it's just like a little different mindset.
And you perform at like a very, very high level. Yeah. Like, I mean, perfect example. How much do you read, man? Like, you are 100% an outlier. So I think with this kind of stuff, my approach has been like, look, you're kind of by default as a man in like today's society, like especially in America, you're kind of fighting an uphill battle from the start. Yeah. Because there is a whole ton of stuff in our food, our tap water, like all the daily like hormonal product, hygiene products that we use and stuff that is gonna fuck with your T levels. It's gonna fuck with your hormones as a dude. So it's like, okay, well, like one, understand that that's happening. Yeah. Like be the better equipped, the more knowledge you have around it, the better decisions you can make. It's like learning about nutrition, learning about like how to eat properly. Learning about diet, right? If you actually understand how it works, okay, now you can make more informed food choices. Yeah. So that's the kind of approach I like to take to it. To your point, and I'm not saying nothing's wrong with that kind of stuff. It's just, it's what I see with a lot of people, especially people with money. I see, and I'm not casting any aspersions on you or anybody who is. But what I've seen as a someone in the fitness industry, right? Or it's people will focus all more how much fluoride is in my toothpaste and focus on and then be fat. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they don't pull the big levers. Yeah, start with the build the pyramid from the base, right? The biggest part of the pyramid at the bottom. Exactly. And then you can work on these little things. You know what? But you know why, right? Because it's easy to buy fancy water and toothpaste. Yeah. Like it's easy to throw money at the problem, right? But the hard work is actually like, oh, let me count my calories. Let me make sure I'm going to the gym, right? If you're doing all that other shit, because those are the things that are people ain't dying from deodorant, man. Not a lot of people aren't dying from deodorant at a high level, but the number one killer of Americans is obesity related diseases. Yep. And I don't care what kind of toothpaste you use, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you consume more calories than you burn, you're gonna get fat and die from that shit, Completely. And I just feel like not you, and I'm just saying not you. I just every time I hear that stuff, I just want to tell. The trainer in me says, listen, major in the major, don't major in the minors first, at least. You know what I'm saying? Pull the big levers first. Very much agree with that. Okay, very much agree with that. All right.
However, if you pull them big levers hard enough,
you're gonna raise the desk like you used a minute ago.
Is there another one, or is that it?
We have Pursuit of Success. Yo, fellas, what are your thoughts on Viagra?
Vagina? Oh, Viagra.
Viagra.
What you thoughts on vagina?
You read what you want to read.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, well, like, man, that's where all life comes from, and I think the people they're attached to should be protected and looked after.
We kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. I mean, my thoughts on it is like it has a lot more of a placebo effect than guys think. Dudes reach for it too quickly. I think it doesn't fix the underlying problem. Like here's a great analogy, right? Imagine if you had a pebble in your shoe and you walk around, you got foot pain because you got a pebble in your shoe. It'd be like taking an aspirin.
Yeah.
Like just take the fucking pebble out.
That's how I feel about yuppie health shit.
Right.
That's exactly how I feel. That's how I feel about yuppie health shit. You know, like then a lot of these people don't focus on the big things. You know, if you're somebody like you who's in shape and you're already maximizing other shit, then it makes sense to start. All right, now let's start optimizing.
One of these are like 0.5% or 1% is that I can
once
add.
You got the big shit impossible.
That's kind of my approach about it. Is like there's like, I mean, that's a big part of why I made the supplement that we're talking about earlier. Is because there's ways to naturally fix the underlying problem so that you never even need it ever. Like you're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, and that's why you came out with the wood product. It's called
name,
wood. That's not me saying like that's not me being weird. It's just, hey man,
he is being weird.
Listen. It's a fucking double entendre. And so make sure you check that out, man. He just launched the product. You know, it's you got it made in like a GMC certified lab.
FDA certified, GMC certified here in the USA.
That's what's up, man. You know, like
American made, man.
Hey man, you know I'm all about that. You know, anything American. I'm down with it. You know, like
why wasn't that button like say can you see? Why aren't you playing the anthem, man? Well, why is that not a button on your deck?
Listen, I make mistakes.
Father Dawn's early life.
That's why I make mistakes, man. This is another super chat.
Yo, Brandon.
I'm sorry. Listen, baby girl. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I forgot I wanted to say something about Viagra. Like there was when I trained some guys in the NFL, and they were like so weird about taking anything like
that they could get
because the drugs is like a lot of people think, man, all pro athletes are on steroids. In my experience, those guys were super scared to take anything, right? Like if I got them something from GNC, they reading the labels and sending it to people and shit. Like real talk, because it was that's been my experience, right? And but what they would take, man, they would take Viagra or Cialis before they worked out. You know what I'm saying?
To get a bigger pump.
Yeah, to get a bigger pump. And there's some research to show that it can help with muscle.
Yeah, I know, like Cialis especially is very common with bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Very common.
But here's the thing though, just like you said, those guys were fucking pro athletes, the top of their game, like 1% of the world's population, less than 1% of the world's population is a pro athlete. So they had everything else dialed. Then they added that on top, right? So I didn't mean to cut, baby girl, I didn't mean to cut you off. Read that super chat for me, please.
Ew.
I'm sorry, what?
Yo, Brandon, I'm 23-year-old U.S. soldier. I've been...
Hey, let's get this man. Thank you for your service, brother. Keeping us safe over there, man. I'm sorry. I get excited, man.
I've been doing IT for the last few years. I have a year left in my contract and confident that I can get six-figure job. But I really want to be an entrepreneur and work 14 hours a day.
All right, so... I'm assuming there's a question in there, so I'll try to decode it. First of all, thank you for your service, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. So a lot of military guys join my program, and they always do the best, or at least the best, the fastest, because they used to structure, they used to being disciplined, following orders, like not. It's not like I give them orders. I tell them what to do, right? I tell my students what to do, but they like do it. They knock it out. You know what I'm saying? And they succeed like super fast.
That's awesome.
So that being said, man, you know, I you know, listen, if you got enough money where you don't have to get a job, then maybe it's appropriate for you to go into that. But you know, if you got responsibilities and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure you know, a lot of these guys will tell you to just run out there and just fuck everything, man, just quit everything and just go for it. And I'm not saying that doesn't work or it can't work for people, but you know, like, you know, when I started, I had to take care of my family, man. So I was working while I was building my business, and then once I had like 6 months of expenses saved for me and my family, right, and the income from the side hustle was taking was making more than the jobs. That's when I was quit, right. So it just depends on how much money you have and how much responsibility you have, right? You're 22. What's up? Oh yeah. You're 22, so you probably don't have kids, right? Johava, he's probably black. He might have some kids. Now I know my people, man. You know what I'm saying? We're a fertile group. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. So like, but when you're young, you can't take those risks, right? If you don't have no responsibility, then maybe fucking go for it, right? You can always go get a job. You know?
Yeah, I mean, and you can always work on like, I know, especially if you're starting out, it's like if you're at the beginning of a career, you can always like work on at 22, you can always work on a side hustle, like, okay, just don't party on the weekends, just don't party in the evenings, like spend like you got 8 hours leisure time or whatever in the evenings, spend 2 of those hours, whatever, every day grinding on your business. Like you can start this process whilst you have a job. And you can use that, and you can use that money to fund the building of the business. And
then you won't be like desperate. With your job, it won't be. It won't.
And then you'll also have leverage on your job, ironically.
Come on, man,
because you're ready to bounce any minute.
Yeah, I think you make what you said make a lot of sense, man. And plus, you've probably got the discipline from being a soldier where you'll be able to apply. You'll be able to do with
both at the same time.
Yeah. Yo, you should check out the Baller Mindset course. It's free. Link is in the description. It's 100% free. All of y'all should check it out, man. It's a free course all about how to go from fucking broke to balling, and you can. And I kind of made it like a choose your own adventure, right? I said the levels, and you can start at the level that you're at, you know what I'm saying? And then go there, and it's the steps, and it's super dope. It's 100% free. I didn't charge you nothing because I'm doing it for what's it called? Clout. That's what the kids call it, right? You know, like I need more fucking diamonds and shit. Like really, the only thing I can't buy is your love and admiration. So if you can like fucking do what I say in the course and like improve your life in a substantial way and give me the credit for it, that's worth more than money to me, man. It's weird. I'm an egomaniac. It actually is worth more than money to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's working so far, man. Huh? It's worked so far.
Hey, man, I like it. I like it. Listen, man. That's my alarm. 50 Cent, I get money's playing, so it means it's time to go to sleep. And we got one more.
I can't read out what that says.
Nah, you can't. No, don't do that. No.
I can't read it out.
We got one more super chat.
We have me. Hey, Stirling Cooper, which porn star did you work with that had the biggest bush?
Yeah.
I think it's what we're all 36. Where would you live? Thailand or the Philippines? P.S. Trying to escape the Matrix.
Well, personally, I wouldn't live in either place because I don't have yellow fever. I have like the opposite of whatever yellow fever is.
Racism.
It's called a preference, Brandon. I can't help what my dick reacts to. Okay. Sometimes, look, if there's I'm sure like Asian ladies are lovely, but he just doesn't want any piece of that.
Damn, hey, man. You know what I'm saying?
But all the more power to everyone else who does have
man. I think that you should be commended. You're leaving some for everyone else. You're leaving at least some.
Thank you.
And
I'm like hot shit in that dating market.
Yeah,
they love the white guys.
Oh yeah, they do.
They love white guys. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna leave more.
You know what I'm saying?
Everyone else.
Hey man, this guy's a hero.
Yeah, basically. Philippines. I'm thinking of Indonesia. I was gonna say that very, very Muslim, but no, Philippines. Philippines, you'll find a lot of really lovely ladies. Thailand, you gotta watch out for the ladyboy thing.
Yeah, unless you're going there for that, right? Listen, you two moderators, we're totally inclusive, man. Whatever you like, man, you do whatever you want, man. It's all good. We love everybody, man. We want everybody to be happy and find love.
Who had the biggest bush? Oh, I know the girl's name.
Let's get to the point.
Yeah, the bit everyone wants to know. Is it Wagner? Casey Wagner? Kylie Wagner? Damn it! I did a podcast with her on my YouTube too. She never shaved. This girl never shaved. She had arm hair, huge bush. Never. That was her thing. She just didn't shave.
There's a market for that.
Very much so.
There's a market.
There's a market
for
for everything.
There's a listen.
Market for everything.
There's a market for everything.
I know I'm getting half of her name wrong. I know. Warner? Maybe it was Kylie Warner, Casey Warner. Damn it. Yeah. All their names are very similar.
Yeah.
They're very derivative.
Yeah.
So the names blend together a lot.
Is that your real name? So that was your stage name and then you just kept it.
To be fair, more people call me by Stirling than by my real name.
Yeah, that's what it is now.
It's like my dad and my sister are the only ones who call me.
What would be my porn name? How do you get one? Do you make it up yourself, or does somebody assign it to you? Is it do they give it to you like a Buddhist would give you your
like
your
a
mantra?
Gives you like a black belt.
Now you assign to you.
Well, the go-to one is like the name of the first pet you had and the street you were born on. So if Speedy
Cottage Grove.
That's a shit name.
It's Speedy Stony Island. Speedy Stony Island Boulevard.
I preferred Cottage Grove.
Yeah,
that had a bit of ring to it. But Speedy is not a great name for a boy.
There's not a market for that. There's not a market for premature ejaculation. I find that difficult to believe. There's a market for everything except for premature ejaculation. I find that difficult to believe, Stirling.
Huh.
Yo,
maybe
man,
we can carve you out a niche.
Listen, I don't want to be. Listen.
Speedy.
Y'all know me, man. I'm a very religious person, man. Conservative. You know what I'm saying? I'm a conservative. I'm conservative, man. You know me, man. Yeah, everyone knows that about me. You know what I'm saying? I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I definitely don't do pornography, man. But you know what I'm saying? But Jesus hung out with the fucking sinners too. That's why we're here. You know what I'm saying? Gymnasium Jesus hangs out with the sinners, you know? To
be fair, I like to use the phrase I'm retired and repenting.
Yeah.
I like to say that.
Yeah, like Mary Magdalene.
Sure.
Yeah. She's a prostitute.
I know.
That's in the Bible.
I know who you're talking about.
You gotta read your Bible, brother.
I got given my first Bible by one of my employees like last month.
One of the porn star employees?
No, one of my staff on my YouTube team. Yeah, not.
He was like, listen. He was like, look, man,
you need this shit.
Get your life together.
Didn't think of it that way. But
yeah, man. He was trying to tell you something. All right, listen, Stirling, man. What, any final words you want to leave the people with, man? You shared a lot.
Yeah, just listen to this twice.
Yeah, you can do it again, man.
Because Brandon is a hilarious man, and you have one of the. Go back and watch the intro to this because that was one of the best intros I've ever been given.
All I was doing was reading the titles of your
films, I don't care.
Yo, and then you just launched the new product. It's wood.
Yes,
and it's natural male enhancement.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
My whole new supplement line. It's the first of many to come. Clubhouse Supplements is the brand of my new supplement line. So yeah,
are there going to be products all revolving around bedroom performance?
We've got a testosterone booster coming out. We've got a sleep supplement coming out. We've got like a kind of like a more of a, what would you call it, like a brain focused, like for grinding and studying or whatever. Like,
oh, really?
We got a few different things coming out.
You got anything that makes women shut the fuck up? Is there a supplement for that? Can we? I'm
the
just
sleep
asking.
one?
Yeah, he was saying, bitch. I'm not. I don't need it. I love hearing my woman talk. I love it, but I'm sure there's some guys out there who just, why won't she just shut the fuck up?
You know what? I'll tell you. I've heard this from people I've coached. Here's how you get your woman to stop nagging: dick her down properly. They ain't nagging. They ain't nagging. If you lay and bite properly, they do not nag. It's plain and simple.
Every listen, don't listen to that propaganda. Every guy out, this is how we're going to do this. Every guy out here, every heterosexual guy out here, if you're not heterosexual, it's cool. We still love you, man. It's totally inclusive. But I'm just talking to heterosexual guys for a second. Women will give you your most joy and be your biggest problems. All of it. I don't care how good you are. Like, look at our boy Tate, right? Women have done, but they've also caused him some problems. You know what I'm saying?
So
they caused him some problems. You know what I'm saying? Out here fucking lying and shit on the homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's without exception. It's in the Bible. Chapter 1. It's just how the fucking shit starts.
Good point.
It's how it starts, man. Everything was perfect to this bitch starts yelling at this motherfucker. You gonna eat the apple. You gonna listen to God. You know what I'm saying? She's talking to a snake, man. That's why you let your girl have guy friends. Moses was a prophet, man. He was teaching us lessons. Anyway,
I can't disagree with that.
Anyway, yeah, that's why they call me Gymnasium Jesus. Yeah, the streets gave me that name. I'm not preaching, brother. Listen, Stirling, thanks so much, man. Y'all check him out on the internet. Get yourself some of that. Get yourself some of them boner pills. All right, you know what I'm saying? Boner health pills.
Correct.
That's a little different.
Correct.
You can use that if you want in the marketing.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what it is, man. And we do this every Tuesday, Thursday at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, what time do you do it?
7. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'll let y'all. Peace.